Good morning, everybody. I'm waving at the camera. Camera's not even on.
Forced to habit.
Good morning.
Good afternoon, all.
Good morning, sweetheart. How are you?
Better than I was over the weekend. Yeah, everyone seems to be a little bit poorly at the moment.
I know. Everybody's kind of blah. Same with me. My weekend was just like blah. It was a slog for some weird reason. I have no idea why. There was a lot going on, but it was just like, ugh. I wanted to do other shit. Like, just not, Because we're less than 2 weeks away from Christmas. So it's like,
You wouldn't think it though, would you? I don't know about you, but I'm not feeling very Christmassy at the moment.
No, that's a complaint I'm hearing from a lot of people. It's like they're just not in the holiday spirit this year for some reason. Gee, I wonder why. COVID-19.
Yeah.
The beer bug has kind of put a damper on everybody's holiday festivities because I'm used to, this time last year, there were tons of people in my house. I'm always, there's always a Christmas party at my place. There's always activity. There's people. There's noise. Too much alcohol. But that's not happening. I could sit and drink by myself, but that's kind of lonely. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, we don't want to go down that route. No.
Now, real quick, I want to give a shout out to Rambling Canuck and Admiral OF Doom.
Yes.
They are kicking ass on History with R&R. That channel is incredible. If you are not sub right now, Rambling Canuck is here.
Yes, I dropped the link in the chat, guys. Huge congratulations to you both. Yeah. You deserve it. Well done.
And yeah, Colin says, 2 weekends in a row with no Discworld. He's very sad.
I'm sorry, Colin. I've got something else planned, but it involves more people, so we're just trying to work out the logistics.
Yeah.
Discworld will be back. The watch is coming soon, unfortunately. God help us. So I will be ripping into that.
Yeah. And Captain Spire says, what a day. Uh-oh.
What a day. Hello, Captain Spire. But yeah, Discworld will be back. I will be doing some more delving into Discworld.
Well, over the weekend, Generalissimo Jefe found the Hogfather. So we're going to be watching that.
Cool.
Coming up pretty soon. I'm like, okay, I'm interested to see it. I've started reading Terry Pratchett, so I'm interested to see. As far as I'm aware, it's animated, right?
That's the live action. The
okay,
yeah, that's okay. One of the ones that Sky One did.
Ah, okay, gotcha. Because I know there was an animated series as well, right?
Yep, there was. You're right.
I'm just blown away. I'm just like, well, it's something different to watch than Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, so I'm kind of cool with it. Every time I watch it, I'm like, oh my God, the poor reindeer. Yeah, I'm weird. Poor Rudolph.
Poor Rudolph. So sad.
Bullies. Cue the SJWs. I'm surprised they're not all over that shit like white on rice.
Shall we say hello to everyone?
Yes, we should. Yeah. There's not many folks here with us this morning. It is Monday, so it's a really rough one. So good morning, Colin P. Smith. He was first in the chat. Darth Haster, our wrench, is here, wrenching away. Teleroth A. Project Storytime. Good morning, Josh. Who else is hanging out with us?
Let's see. We've got Broken Entertainment. Hello, sweetheart. Mary's Game Room. Welcome. Rambling Canuck. Congratulations again, love. Let me see. Captain Spire. What happened? Why? What a day. What happened, hon?
He's had a day already, and it's only Monday.
And Chris Persia, welcome.
Hey, Chris, what's happening? Colin P. Smith, Sammy started reading Discworld. Hashtag uncancel Sammy. Yeah, right? Andrew Hoyle, hello. Welcome.
And the lovely Lady Mist, hello, sweetheart. And Spike in Mischief, good morning to you too.
Good morning, Spike and Mischief. Good to see you in the chat. That's so great. Oh my God. Broken Entertainment. Yeah, what's going on with your sound? My sound didn't start right away. Yeah, fix the problem. YouTube is having issues.
It is. I'm just glad that we can go live. So I'll take it.
Yeah, but I'm wondering if everybody's getting our notifications. I mean, I did set up the stream kind of late because I was like, oh shit.
Well, I didn't get a notification and I'm logged in as Rise and Shine. So take that what you will. So we're not getting notifications for our own shows.
I know, right? Well, shoot, we could be watching. We're sitting there moderating Loki's channel in the mornings, and we get the notification like halfway through.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, really? There's only 15 minutes to go, and now you're giving me the notification? Way to go, YouTube! Unbelievable. Project Storytime says he got notified. I'm like, good.
Thank goodness. It is working, but it is very random. Just disappointed that I either have to subscribe to a service to see the hope of the possibility, or maybe the chance to find a good series that can go into the crapper. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, at least Vikings is Amazon Prime.
Mm-hmm.
Now Cobra Kai, you guys were talking about, right, this morning.
That's correct. Yeah, that's moved now on to Netflix.
But
it was on YouTube. But there are ways around that. And we will leave that dangling there.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, let's just leave that as a dangling participle. Not just YouTube, a lot of the internet was down this morning. Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Gmail was down as well.
Oh, wow. So whatever happened. Okay. Chris Persia, sorry, but starting on Discworld is more important. Just don't tell Gary I said that. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Yeah, the Purple Valkyrie got me reading Terry Pratchett. So, guys, you're going to have to tune in. You need to rewatch her Discworld shows because they were very good.
Thank you.
So, what do you want to keep to yourself what you're doing next, or you want to share?
I think so. We'll keep it under wraps at the moment. But I have got something that I'm really looking forward to, and there's a couple more people that I know are really into this particular subject. So,
okay,
fingers crossed it should be a lot of fun.
So fingers crossed it should fall together then. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, Gmail and Google are probably the same overall infrastructure. I guess this is where it gets into geekdom, and I just go, wait, what? I can barely turn on my computer and get email, guys.
Anyway.
So that means, anyway.
We're 10 minutes in. We really need to get into this.
Yeah, I was going to say, we're 10 minutes into the show. I guess we should talk about Vikings. I mean, that is why we're here. I mean... Good grief. So we're starting off with season 4, episode 4.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, it's episode 4. She questions as I'm scrolling up to see soccer game. I was like, what the fuck? And it's called Yule or Yule. And 'tis the season, y'all. So everybody's getting together to celebrate Christmas for the most part.
Yes, exactly. So it's the time, where everyone's kind of wound down. The harvest is done. People are getting back together with the families. It's a time of celebration.
Yep, it's party time. And we all know how the Vikings can party. So, Yule is a big, big holiday. I mean, it's right up there with the rites of spring. and the sacrifices up in Uppsala.
Mm-hmm.
So that I wasn't surprised that they did a whole episode just on this holiday, and it's just fitting that it happened to fall right in December for us. The timing is like everything. But in Cat, everybody's celebrating. Floki is back to being loose amongst the unwashed masses.
Yes. Not really part of the community anymore. You can see that both he and Helga are still kind of being shunned, even though they're back within the community. There's definitely a coldness towards them and a distance. And Floki is obviously still keeping very much to himself after what happened.
Yeah. Yeah, he's doing his usual skulking in the background. I'm like, here he is, hiding in the shadows. Shocker. But with good reason, because you're right. Yeah, he's kind of being shunned by the community.
Yes. And correct me if I'm wrong, but is this the first time that we actually see Floki and the Seer in the same scene together? On their own?
First time in a while, by themselves, I
was trying to think back, when was the last time that they were together? It's got to have been season 1.
Season 1, yeah. Mm-hmm. That was one of the first times we were introduced to the Seer. And he's never been back, so that explains the comment from the Seer. I've spent a long time waiting for you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, okay, there's John Kavanaugh again. Can't see worth a shit. Playing that awesome character. I'm just like, God, I love the Seer. Anytime we get to see him, I just love it.
Yeah, he is one of my favorite characters, I've got to admit.
And then what surprised me was Aslog showing up at first.
Mm-hmm.
And he's even like, what do you want? Helga's sitting there going, Floki, shush.
Trying to teach him some manners.
And he's just got this what the fuck attitude.
Poor
I'm
Helga.
like, wow, poor Helga. I mean, I really feel for that woman. I really do.
Yeah, see, Aslog and Ragnar, as they always do, they're having issues. And this time the issue they're having is with their son.
With Ivar.
With Ivar. He's still... Ragnar wants him to be treated as any other normal kid. You know, he was trying to get him to play. He wanted to get him involved with the celebrations. And Aslog is very much, she wants to keep him sheltered. You know, he's not like all other children. And he can't do what the other kids do. And he knows it, and she knows it.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of kind of friction between Ragnar and her over this.
Surprise.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. More friction to be added to the relationship anyway. I mean, their relationship is anything but strained. It's just like, it's horrible. Those two they need to not be together. They shouldn't have been together in the first place, but we all know this. It's meant to be a story breaker for Largatha. Mm-hmm. So, but Aslog takes Ivar to Floki.
Mm-hmm.
And is like, I want you to teach him to hate Christians as much as you do, because apparently she hates Christians just as much as Floki does.
Yeah, so I was never sure whether it was just Athelstan she hated because he had so much influence over Ragnar, or whether
me too.
See, that's the way I always saw it. See, Floki, obviously, he has a hatred of Christianity, and Athelstan was just kind of the figurehead of that hatred that he could kind of project on.
Yeah.
But it never kind of struck me that Aslog had the same feelings. She just didn't like Athelstan always being there.
Yeah, because he was always around, always by Ragnar's side.
Mm-hmm.
You know, thick and thin kind of thing, because Ragnar loved him like a brother. I mean, they were essentially brothers. I mean, there's no other way to describe that relationship, and to have Floki kill him was just like, ugh. I hated that scene.
Just to kind of pull up the comment that Colin just said. Yeah, it goes back to the mythology with Floki and Loki, and it's that thread that runs through the whole series, that these characters are more than what they're portrayed as being on screen.
Yeah.
There's the Norse gods actually run through these characters.
Big time. Because, I mean, it was obvious with the way Floki was put up and was jailed, essentially, put up and tortured. With the water torture, the drip, like Loki was.
Mm-hmm.
And, Helga taking the role of Sigyn and keeping the water from dripping on his head and driving him batshit. I mean, it's Loki. Floki, rather. He's always batshit.
Yes.
No matter what we do.
And that and the seer is very cryptic anyway. So although his prophecies always do come true, you don't know it until it happens.
Till after the fact. Yeah, it's thanks for the warning.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. But we see Ragnar watching Yidu.
Yes.
Yeah. The Asian slave that they bought from Paris. And I'm like, yeah, they're gonna do something weird with these two characters, and they go off. I didn't know that Ragnar had his little house in the woods, so to speak, and off they go to this little house,
his little man cabin in the woods with boa constrictors or pythons or some big snake.
Something's happening.
Shouldn't be there because it's the middle of a Norwegian winter.
Yeah, it's like, this is a little out of place. Is it supposed to be here?
I mean, I get
the snake. Okay.
I get symbolism and, the snake being temptation, but
yeah.
Really?
Which is
a little
Christian.
bit on the nose.
Yeah, which is a Christian personification. I mean, that's so weird, but yeah, he even tells her,
it does make sense because obviously Ragnar now has taken on Christianity.
Yes.
So I get where they're going. But I thought it was a little bit jarring.
It's like, a snake, and it's winter in Norway.
And it's just hanging out.
Just chill. I mean, there's no fire in this place. I mean, it's probably cold as shit. It's like, that snake's not going to survive.
No.
And even Colin says, yes, I'm certain those snakes wouldn't survive that far north. Yeah.
Yeah.
They barely survive in Texas. I mean, cheese and rice. Maybe down in, South Texas shit, but it's too cold right here for man or beast at this point right now. I can only imagine how cold it gets in Norway. I've never been. But I was loving the scene in the beginning of Yidu and Ragnar, and he's just watching her try to get the pigs in order, and she's just having a hell of a time.
Yes.
And he's just watching her kind of laughing. And tells her, you're a lousy slave.
Yes, he even says to her, you clearly weren't born a slave because you're terrible at it.
Yeah, because you're awful. And at the house in the woods, he kind of releases her from being a slave, and tells her, you can go if you want to. You're free to do as you please. And she's kind of like, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's the catch?
Yeah, really. What's happening? What do I got to give in return to that? So she ends up staying and keeping him company, so to speak. We all know where this is headed.
Yes, there was that really odd scene where she prepares him some medicine. And I don't know what she gave him, but Ragnar was tripping.
Oh, I'm like, he eats that, right? I'm going, oh, Holmes is tripping balls right now.
That's one of my favorite scenes when he's rowing.
Yeah, and that little kind of
like a little
rocking horsey thingy.
Yeah. I was howling.
And he's swinging from the ceiling like, yeah, man. Woo! He was baked.
That was some strong stuff.
I'm like, whatever she gave him. Yeah, and Colin P. Smith, you're right. If you're having trouble remembering Yidu's name, just call her Mulan. Yeah, that's the whole thing I was thinking the whole time I'm seeing this character. It's like, Mulan. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. Yeah, stoned. Holmes was baked. I was just like, holy hell, man.
It was a fun scene.
It was. I was laughing through the whole thing. I just could not get over it. He was so high. Of course, she takes it too to prove, that she's not going to poison him or anything like that. But
yes,
they're both tripping.
Both get a little bit weird.
In Broken Entertainment, this is insert sexy music here, and then bounce, wow, wow.
Yeah, I think that comes in the next episode, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, we get that next. Colin P. Smith says, I haven't even seen Mulan. Well, the animated one is good. I liked it. The live action? Nah.
But that's pretty much where we leave Ragnar. He's having hallucinations in a cabin in the woods.
Yep. It's like, wow. Okay. Hanging out, and then cut to
Bjorn.
Mm-hmm. Who's still doing his man thing. He's kind of packing up, getting his stuff ready to go. He's ready to head back to Kattegat. At least I thought he was going to Kattegat first.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But then the Berserker shows up.
Yes.
That little slime ball Erlander hired.
I really like the Berserker. I really like to see a little bit more of him.
Oh, it was creepy too. Just watching the cuts between scenes because, Bjorn knows there's somebody there.
Mm-hmm.
But, this giant of a man is just hiding behind trees and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ, this is creepy.
It was like the Predator, he just appears.
Yep. That funny sound that the Predator makes, and it's just like, ah. And they're fighting.
All credit to Bjorn. He really holds his own with him. He doesn't get taken by surprise. He gets hit once, and then that just enrages him even more. Oh
yeah, and the fishhook thing. Holy hell! I was screaming like, ah, God damn it! Wincing, just But he takes advantage of this giant berserker of a man, and I'm like, damn, Bjorn is really grown up. He is not a wussy.
Not at all.
Well, giant until you see him next to Bjorn. Well, Bjorn, I think, looked bigger because of all the fur he had on.
Yeah, he's wearing a bear at this point.
Yeah. It's like he killed a bear, for Christ's sake. I mean, God, bravo. Oh, the Broken Entertainment. He's fine. He's got his not slave and his high making drugs. And his rare winter snakes.
And rats. Don't forget rats, because he was playing with.
Oh yeah, he's petting this rat like he's in a mental institution. Like, yes, precious, I love you. You're my only friend.
So I'm guessing the rats were food for the winter snake, but still.
I guess so. That's what we're gonna have to call those snakes from now on. Just the winter snakes. Good one, Broken Entertainment. I love it. Thank you for that. That and Mulan. That hippie music in the background. Yeah, we're kind of going back and forth between those scenes because they were so trippy. Oh my God. But yeah, Bjorn just beats the crap out of this. Oh, disembowels him and everything.
Oh, that was gross. Yeah.
Oh, that was disgusting. He just sniffs his hand and is like, blech. I'm
what
like,
did you expect, Bjorn? I mean, really?
Yeah, it's going to be gross. It's like you took out somebody's innards, for crying out loud. And it's, the waste product. Duh.
But, yeah, he just leaves him tied to a tree, dead, and takes the ring with him.
Yeah. And that was like, oh, hell. That's when I figured, okay, he's not going to go to Kattegat. He's going to go straight to Hedeby. And sure enough, he does. And you see the look when he shows up, just, like, busts through the door like, I'm back, bitches. And, of course, Lagertha is just like, Bjorn?
Yeah, she's overjoyed to see him. Calf and Elendor, however.
They kind of look at each other like, Oh, we are so hosed right now. Oh, we are so screwed. And Calf is just like, oh, hello, have a drink. Welcome.
Yes.
Come on in. Have a seat. Great to see you.
How you doing?
You doing good? Good
Absolutely.
to see you survived.
Didn't send somebody to kill you.
No, not at all. Just like la 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 la. And what I loved was the scene with Torby.
Mm-hmm.
And the poor thing, bless her heart, she's torn because of her son.
Yes, this I think is kind of the pivotal moment for Torvi. This is when you kind of see her inner strength come through.
Yeah.
Because up until now, she's been that kind of mousy, very shy character. You know, she's been under the thumb of Elendor.
Yeah.
Elendor, sorry. But she sees a way out and takes it.
Yeah, with the promise from Lagatha of she will look after her boy.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, cool. She grows the spine and is just like, F this. I'm going with Bjorn. And I'm like, yeah, Torby! Because I know you're going to be such a badass when you grow up. I love that. So off they go to Kettikat. And I was so happy. Like finally we get to see a little more of Torby. And yeah, her break out of that little shell that she's been kept in. So off we go to Paris after this. And poor Rollo.
Yes, poor Rollo. He's tried his best, bless him.
Well, he's kicking ass and trying to learn French. Finally. I mean, we talked about that in the last episode. He was sitting down with a monk to try to learn and try to really be respected by his wife, Gisela, who's just not having it. But she brings him basically divorce papers.
Yes.
Because they never consummated the marriage. So in the eyes of the Catholic Church, they're not married.
Yes, it's a loophole that can be taken advantage of.
Right. And he speaks French to her. He speaks her language. And she's just like, what the hell? Oh my God. He's really trying.
Yes, this is kind of a wake-up call for her.
Yeah.
She even says to him, you know, I'm touched that you actually did this.
Yeah.
She's had it in her head for so long that he was just a big dumb savage that she's been kind of saddled with.
Yeah.
And she finally sees him as a person.
Yeah, a real man. Not just, like you were saying, like an animal.
Mm-hmm.
We even talked about that last week. You know. So, not having it yet. You got to cue the porn music again. Wow, wow.
But I think the biggest gesture he makes to her, she kind of challenges him. She said, well, you know, I know what you did with your own men. You had them killed, but that's a very Viking thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
And he takes off his band and gives it to her to show allegiance. He said, this means something to me. Yeah.
That was a beautiful scene.
Yeah.
And the look on her face was just kind of like, oh my God, he is a man worth loving. She's really impressed. I'm just like, wow. Those were great scenes with her and Rollo.
It was, yeah. I that's probably my favorite scene in this episode, with those two.
Yeah. Well, it gets better. But that's the next episode. We'll move on to that in just a couple of minutes. But first, we've got to go back to the Yule celebrations or the Christmas celebrations in Wessex.
Yes.
And King Aela has come down from Northumbria to celebrate. And he's not really happy with what he sees.
No, he knows exactly what's going on. And he's not happy at all with Judith.
No. And he even says as much. I mean, he does all but call her a whore.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ooh.
Judith has found this inner strength.
She stands up to her father, and I'm just like, yeah. Look at you. She basically says, I'm a free woman. I can do whatever I want.
And she also stands up to her husband.
Yeah. I was really impressed with the character growth. Well, Judith turns out to be, later on, if you skip ahead and go to The Last Kingdom, we all know who Judith is, and what becomes of, with King Alfred. So that's skipping ahead, though. We're not going to cover that yet.
No, we'll get to that when we get to it. There was one little scene, I think it was this episode. I mean, again, these two episodes tend to blend together, but with Ayla and Quinthrith, where he said he swore to, wipe out Ragnar's line, and the look on her face when she realizes that he means it.
Yeah.
Because obviously she's Magnus.
Yeah, she's got Magnus, and he's quite a little man right now. And the look on her face was priceless. She's like, oh, shit.
More trouble.
More trouble. Yeah. It's like, great.
So not only are they trying to rally forces to get Mercia back, she's also got this to contend with down the line.
Yeah, she's got to protect Magnus and figure out how she's going to protect Magnus, because she's going to have to rely on King Egbert at that point, who has such great respect for Ragnar and knows that that child is Ragnar's. At least I think he does.
Yes, he does. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, King Ayla was just a number one asshole. That's an odd thing to pick out, Colin P. Smith. Did anyone else notice Gisela for some reason seemed to get a haircut before we see her again? Yeah, I did notice that too, but I was just like, don't care. Scenes with Rollo. Rollo has a shirt on. I don't know what to do with this.
Yes, it just doesn't look right, does it?
And what's worse is he's in French clothing, so it's like, what the hell? He's really going full bore into this role of a duke, a French duke. I'm like, oh my God. But after these scenes with the Christmas celebration, we see flirting between Aethelwulf and Queen Quinthrith. And I'm just like, ugh. Nobody seems to care. But I'm like, crazy. She's crazy, but she's batshit. Don't put your dick in crazy. Too late. Too late. He already did. And Judith doesn't even care.
She doesn't know. She even calls him on it. Yeah. He's just a massive hypocrite.
Oh yeah. So, all right, whatever. I mean, this all is happening, and I'm just like, that scene to me almost seemed insignificant, but I know why they were adding it, because you've got to see the dichotomy between the Yule celebration and the Christmas celebration. I mean, it's one big party, but two different religions, essentially. So, that was pretty cool. But, this episode, these couple episodes were kind of just story continuations. So, look who's back.
Hey, you're welcome.
Hello. Sorry you're late. That's okay, hon. Better late than never. We still got
welcome. Good to see you.
Good to see you again, sweetie. He's like, I don't know how to chat. I don't know what to do in here. He says, good morning. Better late than never. So it's good to see you. Let's see. Samantha Joe, do you know which historical character Rollo is based on, though? I have a general overview. Because I know Rollo is not really Ragnar's brother. Rollo comes along later, if I'm not mistaken, later than what we're focusing on now. If you want to put that in the chat and explain, Colin P, go right ahead. I'm totally cool with that. But we go back to Kattegat, and somebody arrives. We get a stranger in town.
Yes. And I really like this character.
King Harold Fine Hair.
And he does have fine hair, I will admit. He has
That's a
great
fine
hair.
head of hair. I'm like, check the Viking braid on this dude. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, this guy is badass. And I think it was Uber who saw the ship come in. And he's like, someone has arrived.
Yes, and it's Aslog who greets him and welcomes him into the hall and just kind of questions who he is. Because, obviously no one's ever heard of him before. He says he's a king. But a king of where?
King of what and where, yeah. And he says something about being king of all Norway, and Uber's like, if you're going to be king of all Norway, you have to overthrow my father.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, oh shit, we've got a new threat in town.
Motorbike going past.
I was going to say, was that a motorbike?
Uh-huh, yeah.
Or the garbage man, because it's garbage day in my neck of the woods. No, the dog's on the floor just like, don't care. But yeah, Fine Hair looks like an interesting character. And the way they do develop him ends up being pretty freaking awesome.
Yes.
But that's where we kind of cut. I mean, then Ragnar arrives in the Great Hall to see this new king sitting in his Great Hall. And he's like, well, new faces. What's happening? Who are these idiots?
This is different. Yeah.
Okay, Colin put it in the chat. Samantha Joe, the real Rollo did indeed become a Frankish duke. The king granted him a little peninsula in northeastern France, which is named after the Northmen. Ah. Thank you for that little bit. See, we can rely on Colin P. Smith for bits and pieces of history. Northwestern France. Sorry, there was a correction.
Thank you, Colin.
Can't tell my left from my right. I feel you, boss. Somebody said to me, go to the right side. I look left. Your other right. I'm like, thank you.
Nailed it.
I'm on it. Way to focus. It's early. But after that, we skip. It's time to go to the next episode. We go on to Promised.
Yes, Promised. Now, this is a much more kind of pivotal episode than Yol. Yol was kind of a little bit goofy. There was a lot of very silly scenes. The scene with Ragnar, the scene in Paris at Christmas where Rollo and Gisela, just can't contain themselves.
Don't. I know. That was so awkward.
And then everyone else is just sitting there, just.
Tra-la-la-la-la.
Merry
You're
Christmas.
Not hearing this. Happy Christmas. La la la.
And then all the while in the background, all you can hear is banging.
Literally. And figuratively. It's happening.
But this one was much
That was a great
more...
scene, though.
It was a great scene. But this one kind of pushed things forward a lot more.
Yeah, it did. It did. But it was nice to see. It was nice to see Rollo and Gisela finally together.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, finally, because I was really rooting for him. I really was. I don't know why. I just thought their temperaments, they're perfect for each other. That back in Kettiket, we got Ragnar and Bjorn are finally back together.
Yes. And I think
go ahead. I'm sorry.
There's a kind of newfound respect between the two of them. I think since Bjorn's returned, I think Ragnar sees him as a man now, not just his son. And I think that was really well done without kind of being too obvious about it.
Yes, absolutely. The other thing is they're eyeballing King Harold.
Yes. And
like,
especially when his brother then turns up as well.
Yeah. It's like, oh, oops. Hello. Okay. Shit. But they haven't the fellas, Ragnar and Bjorn, they have an interesting conversation about their lives as men. Between being husbands and now fathers, because Bjorn has Siggy.
Yes, and Ragnar kind of takes him to task about that.
Yeah, it's like, why are you not taking care of your daughter?
I think Bjorn says, because she reminds me of things that I'd rather not think about.
Yeah, and I feel sorry for the poor little girl.
Yeah,
I mean, she's being taken care of by the Queen's people. Yeah, by the Queen's ladies essentially. Along with Ubba, Fitzuk, Sigurd, and poor little Ivar. Of course, we don't get poor little Ivar for very much longer.
No, no, we do not.
And he's already crazy. Ivar. That kid's got issues.
That kid's possessed.
Yeah. I mean, that little guy, though, I got to tell you, that little actor, he's nailing it. He can do crazy. I'm like, this kid's got a future. He's going to play a serial killer at some point. I'm like, yeah, man, that's awesome. But Ragnar makes a claim that he's failed at being both a husband and a father. And Ragnar also is clearly addicted to the medicine from the Asian slave.
Yes. You just can't get off that hit, can he? Bless him.
Nope. And this is where you can cue the bow chicka wow wow, because they finally are high enough, they start doing it.
Yeah, that scene was so long. I mean,
wasn't it?
Kind of sex scenes that they've done. This is actually the longest, I think, and it was with her and him. You'd think it would have been with like Aslog or Lagertha back in the beginning.
Yeah.
This scene just kept going and going and going.
Yeah. Well, because they're both tripping balls again. It's just like, oh my God. Like, you keep going and going and going with whatever this, in quotes, medicine is that she's mixed up. But they talk about their deepest, darkest secrets kind of thing. It's like when you get drunk and tell everybody's your best friend. It's like, oh, he's my best friend. I'm telling you everything. I'm like, oh, really? Oh, shit. Deepest, darkest secrets, huh? All right. Keep it under your hat. I'm drunk, so what? Fuck it. But she claims to be the ginseng. I don't think it's ginseng. I think it's a little more than that. There might be some opium going on with that.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking.
Whatever it is. Poppies grow?
It's doing it. Yeah.
Can we get poppies to grow in the Northland?
Same as the winter snakes.
Winter snakes, yeah. But yeah, there they are, high as fuck, and telling each other the deepest, darkest secrets. And she's apparently the daughter of the Chinese emperor. I'm like, okay, that's where it kind of clicked for me, Colin P. And I'm like, Mulan? I mean, she wasn't the child of the Chinese emperor, obviously, but she became, very up there in the upper echelon of Chinese culture, and close to the emperor at one point. But yeah, that was the longest sex scene ever. Bathroom. It says ginseng and MD 2020. No kidding. Holy shit. Yeah, how did Chinese herbs and even material from Chinese clothes make it to Norway? No one knows. They weren't on the Silk Road.
No, they weren't.
I mean, then we don't discover that until Bjorn starts setting sail. And that doesn't happen for at least the rest of I don't think it happens till the 5th season.
No, I think that's pretty much what it kicks off.
Or 4.2. Because they do split this into halves. So it's going to get weird. Season 4 is going to get weird, guys. We're going to have so many episodes.
Yeah, I don't know what they were actually thinking with season 4, but bear with us with this one.
Yeah, we got 20 whole episodes, but it's 2 parts. So Sammy just woke me up again. What was that again? Longest sex scene ever. There you go, Chris. And Colin says, according to her story, the pirates must have sailed around China, Vietnam Peninsula, India, and the whole of Africa to reach Francia. Yeah, there's no other way for them to reach Francia.
No.
That I'm aware of.
No. And she did say she was a slave when she was in Paris, because that's where she was bought from.
Yeah. She was sold to the Parisians, to the Frankians. Yeah. Broken Entertainment. The winter snakes brought them up from China in their annual migration.
Not going to let this winter snake thing go, are we?
Colin P. Smith says 2 10-episode parts of the season. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. For whatever reason. They could have split it into season 5 and had 7 seasons of Vikings, but nope. We're only working on season 6. And remember, guys, no spoilers. Because we haven't seen any of the trailers or anything yet. So
yes.
No talkie.
No talkie.
Halfdan the Black. That's King Harold's brother. I just looked him up. I'm like, Halfdan the Black arrives in Kattegat.
And these two seem to have a much closer relationship than Rollo and Ragnar did, which is kind of nice to see. There's no rivalry between them. They're clearly pulling in the same direction. But he tries to introduce himself to Ragnar, and Ragnar's just throwing knives at a shield.
Yep.
And he's quite short with him. Poor Halfdan's trying to make the best impression he can, and Ragnar he's like, I don't really want to raid anymore.
I'm not really into it.
Not feeling it.
Ratings, all right, if we have to, fine.
And I think he really slips up Halfdan when he says how much he wants to kill Christians.
Yes.
The look on Ragnar's face when he does it. It's like,
Whoops.
Oh shit! May have said the wrong thing there.
Wrong thing. Yeah, we may be getting off on the wrong foot after all. It's like, well, shite. But Torvi also has a conversation with Bjorn about that ring.
Yes.
And she confirms it for Bjorn, who it belongs to.
Yep, she recognized it immediately.
And she has no problem spilling her guts now. She's just like, yeah, it was Erlender's.
Yep, got it from his father. Just saying.
So, ta-da, there it is.
Make of that what you will.
Yep, take it that what you want. I'm here to be your ally. I love you, Bjorn. Which was nice. I mean, that was a good scene. I mean, I love Torvi so much. So, like I love Helga. I love both of them. So I'm so happy to start seeing more and more of her and watch her character grow. It was amazing to watch. I just love her. So sorry, my bird is chirping now for some strange reason. I have no idea why. So I apologize, guys. But we could go ahead and go to Wessex.
Oh yeah.
Aethelwulf and Judith are arguing. Shocker.
Of course.
And she pretty much tells him, they're husband and wife in name only, because he's screwing Queen Quenthrith. And she's screwing around with her father-in-law. So I'm like,
both of them have, broken the marriage vow, so it really doesn't mean anything anymore.
Yeah. Like I have to agree with her. Yeah, in name only. I mean, it's been that way since Athelstan. I mean, obviously, she gives birth to Alfred. So, thank you for subscribing, Broken Entertainment.
Thank you, Broken Entertainment. Welcome.
And Colin P. Smith is trying to remember who first effectively united Norway. I think it was King Harald Bluetooth who did it for Sweden. I thought it was Bjorn Ironside, but I could be wrong. I mean, Colin is our history buff, so his word is kind of law. Till I do my research. My brains don't work the way they should. So yeah, Broken. Good question. Did they unsub you at some point, Broken Entertainment? Huh.
I get unsubbed from poor Bird of Prey all the time. I think I've been subbed from 4 times.
Yeah, I've gotten unsubbed from Loki. I'm like, really? Come on. Jesus Christ. But that scene with Judith and Aethelwolf, I was just like, yeah, that had to be played. It wasn't really necessary, but it had to be played. I mean, they're just kind of going through the motions anyway. Nothing really matters.
Yeah, there's no getting around it. There's no secrets, so it is what it is.
It is what it is, and
are doing the exact same thing to each other.
Yeah, Telerathe brains, you have multiple. Some days I feel like I do. My brains don't always work though so good together. That's okay. But Aethelwolf is talking with Queen Quenthrith, and they I can't word. What the hell? See, I told you, Telerathe, my brains aren't working.
Basically, what they're trying to do is they're trying to side with Quenthrith. They need her back in the position of power.
Yes.
So they need Mercia. Yeah. So they're trying to convince people, we need to unite over this.
Yeah, and get her crown back, essentially.
Yes.
Which would bode well. I mean, but those two are always up to something.
Yes,
Aethelwolf and his father, they're always up to something. Even Quenthrith, it's like she's got another modus operandi for this, and we can never quite figure it out. They play it so well.
I think it's only King Aela that's kind of a little bit more straight with people. He hasn't got really any ulterior motives other than he wants Ragnar's line removed, and he wants revenge.
Revenge! Always with the revenge. I think Judith was unfaithful first. Yeah, she was. But I get the feeling she wasn't exactly satisfied in the marriage anyway. Stupid Aethelwolf. Yeah. She wanted Athelstan from the second she saw him. If I remember correctly. Yeah, Chris Perger, you're right. Broken Entertainment. Views vanishing is when YouTube either unsubs someone and then they retroactively remove views or falsely deemed a bot. Yeah, that happens a lot.
Yeah, it actually happened yesterday.
Yeah, it happened yesterday to our channel. So we're like, it's going around. I think it happened to Loki the other day too.
Yeah.
But that's what happens, guys.
That's YouTube.
Yep. Meanwhile, back in Paris, that crazy woman who likes to get who's into S&M.
Yes, Teresa.
And Roland, her brother.
Yes.
And they reveal to the Emperor that Odo plans to overthrow him. And I'm like, oh, didn't see that coming.
Yeah, she was a lot more sneaky than I would have given her credit for. I mean, throughout as the season builds, you're kind of trying to figure out what's her angle, what's she trying to get at. Because at first you think, she just wants power through Odo. But she wants him gone.
Yeah, completely gone. Yeah, and I'm like, oh, shit. Well, even the Emperor questions Teresa's word. Or Roland on Teresa's word. How do you know this woman can be trusted? Because she's my sister.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, well, there you go. Okay. And good morning, Mark. I hope you're feeling better, honey. I know you're under the weather.
Good morning, Mark.
Go to the doctor.
Go lie down. Go get
Take
some
a nap.
rest.
Yeah. I mean, come on, babe. We need everybody well. The holidays are coming. Yay! And Colin says he's going back to King Ayla. Ayla will get his revenge, and that will not be the end for him. Or not end well, rather, for him. Yeah. Nope. Not really.
But the big scene really comes at the end of the show.
I wasn't sure if I was watching a dream sequence or if it was actually for real. I was like, wait, is Largatha just tripping? Like, is this what she really wants to happen? Or is it actually happening? And I couldn't believe it. Moments before they're supposed to take their wedding vows, she stabs him in the gut.
Yeah, so Calf finally convinces Largatha to marry her. To marry him, rather. And at the same time, she actually reveals to him that she's pregnant.
And I'm thinking, she was never supposed to have any more children. That was the
prophecy.
The prophecy from our lovely seer, our favorite guy. I'm going to the doc later. I think it's food poisoning or a stomach virus. Oh, no.
Oh, honey.
Oh, my condolences. Oh, I would honestly, I've had food poisoning before. I would rather have, honest to God, COVID-19 than have food poisoning. I mean, it's the worst. Ow. I haven't had COVID-19, so I don't really have a comparison. But Mark, get better. Yes. Oh, I hope you feel better later, honey. I'm so sorry. But yeah, she just stabs him.
Yep.
Right before the wedding.
Takes him out, and he's even says to her, "I've never seen you looking more beautiful. This is how I want to remember you."
Okay.
She just sticks a knife in him. Well, yep. She did say she was going to do it.
Yep. She said, "One day I will kill you." I remember her saying that, and it was just like, oh, well, I guess that day is here.
Yep. She took him by surprise and took him out and walks back out of the tent covered in blood. And her shield maidens form.
Oh, that was a badass scene. That was a badass scene. Just her up there on that little hill and all these shield maidens, long live Earl Ingstad. Long live Earl Ingstad. I was just like, yes, finally, get more Largatha. She's back, bitches.
Yes, back where she should be, in charge. And I did have to laugh. The look on Erlinger's face when he realised what had happened.
Yeah, kind of like,
oh dear. But even
I'm in trouble.
Before that, he's kind of like taking almost a pot shot at Calf as he's walking up, and he hits a pot with the crossbow because they've modified it so the range is much greater now. So even then, you're kind of hinting at that. There's a rivalry and a friction between these two, and the partnership is not going to last. But fortunately for him,
true.
Largatha took Calf out.
Yeah. And Colin brings up a big point. Remember, she asked specifically if she would bear Ragnar any more kids. That's true. That's very true. But no, that obviously didn't happen. That was Queen Aslog and her loose self.
Yes. And speaking of Aslog, I think we should probably swing back round to that little gremlin, Ivar.
Oh, that little turd. He's going to be something else. And we all know it because Ivar is part of the Norse sagas and tales. So,
yes.
That little kid. Now Loki's in charge of him.
Yes. So Floki is trying to teach him the ways of Norse mythology. He's teaching him about the gods. He's teaching him how to be a Viking. And Ivar gets distracted. He's watching the other kids play. And Floki realizes, he's not paying attention. So he takes him outside to play. And they're tossing is it a ball or something that they're throwing?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. And Ivar being in the little wagon that they've put him in, he's too little to reach up and catch the ball. And he finally manages to get a hold of it. And another little boy comes over and tries to wrestle it off him. And unbeknownst to everyone else, Ivar has an axe in his cart with him.
Little tiny axe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh shit, and good morning, boss.
Good morning, boss.
Yeah, Floki will teach him the old ways for sure.
Yes,
oh my God.
But Ivar, in a fit of, well, just a fit really.
A fit, yeah.
This little axe and just buries it in the skull of this little boy and kills him.
Yeah. Yeah.
And everyone is just shocked.
And it's like stunned silence, like you could hear a pin drop through all of Kattegat at that moment.
And the next thing that happens is Aslog just swoops in, picks him up, and is trying to comfort him and tell him everything's going to be okay. You didn't do anything wrong. You know, we'll sort this out. It's like,
will we though?
Will we? And even Floki's just standing there stunned. It's like, what the hell just happened?
What the fuck just happened?
This kid is nuts.
God. Hey, Keely. Yeah, this kid is batshit crazy. Not you, Keely. Ivar.
Ivar. It's like, oh my God, we have a problem with this child.
Houston, we have a problem. This kid is batshit. Okay.
But as you said earlier, massive respect to the little actor because he played it so well.
Oh my God, this kid, seriously, he's got a future as like Pennywise. If they reboot the series, you know, he could totally do it. He'd take over for Bill Skarsgård, you know, because this kid is nuts. I mean, oh, that was just, I couldn't believe this. Ah! Little tiny axe. Whack! Oh. Okay.
And now I can see why nobody wants to play games with Ivar.
Yeah, he plays for, I mean, it's like beyond schoolyard rules. I'm like, this is just back alley rules, man. This kid doesn't mess around. Holy shit. I mean, oh, even, yeah, when you shock even Floki, yeah, you're batshit. I mean, oh my God. Oh, yeah, that's a hell of a note to close on because it is at the hour. Mm-hmm. So next, go ahead, hon. Oh,
but it's just a scene worth bringing up because it was just so weird.
It was weird.
It's kind of a pivotal scene for this little boy.
Yeah,
and what he becomes later on.
Like how much like therapy did they have to put this kid through, or is this kid really that good of an actor? You know, to where you're like, okay.
We're gonna have problems with Ivar.
Yeah, like this kid is definitely, he's got some issues.
But it is he is learning, as the boss said, the old ways, the ways of being a Viking.
Yep. And it's clearly Ivar is take no prisoners. Oof. So next week we'll be covering what might have been.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm clicking over to the next episode. And the profit and the loss.
Yes. As you said, it's kind of a weird way that they did it. They split it up into 2 10-part.
Mm-hmm.
So technically, I don't know why they did it. There must be a reason why just season 4 is 20 episodes instead of like a 10 and then another 10 into season 5. And the season 5 should be season 6 and season 7 should be coming now. But yeah. It's
we'll be reviewing. I think we end up at 10 and 11.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we do.
So, you know, we'll get the full reasoning behind it, you know, at one sitting instead of splitting it into, you know, episode 10, then episode 11 and 12. I think it'll work better that way. I'm not sure. I'm watching them again along with you guys, and it's been about a minute since I've seen the whole thing. Because right now, kids, as you know, I'm watching The Expanse. Because guess what's dropping on Wednesday morning?
Oh, yes.
So I'm thrilled to death.
I'm just happy that we've got something that we enjoy that we can look forward to. So I'm really looking forward to the reviews of that.
Yeah, me too. I'm just psyched for the season. I can't stand it anymore. I'm just like, The Expanse. I can't stand it.
Chomping at the bit.
Oh, I am. I'm like, come on. Wednesday. I'll be up at like 4 a.m. going, yeah! I got 3 episodes to watch in one sitting, sitting there with, toothpicks in my eyeballs watching this thing going, yes! Loaded for bear on the highest caffeine coffee I've got in my house. So,
yes. And then
come on back
Friday.
and watch the show.
And then Friday, we've got a special tour, haven't we?
Yes, we do. We're going to be touring my house again, guys. My house all decorated for Christmas. So hopefully I will get a picture to Purple Valkyrie. So when she puts the stream up, it'll be my house decorated in lights. You guys will see it at night. I will do my best to get that picture out there so she has it. If not for our background, at least for our thumbnail. But it might be both. Who knows? But yeah, Friday we'll be touring my house again. So that should be fun.
Yeah.
Get us ready. Get us really in the holiday spirit. Because, while Halloween really pukes in my house, Christmas throws up too. So let's not get crazy. It does get pretty holiday-ish in here.
Can't wait to see it.
And Chris says, woo, another home tour. Yes, and I'll have the table set too. I know you were crazy about my table setting last year, Chris Persia. So yeah. So guys, that's going to wrap it up for us today.
Yep. Huge thank you to everyone who joined. Yeah.
Anything you've got going on? You're working on your secret project right now.
Working on secret projects. Yep. Tomorrow, Mexican Iron Man is back. Can't wait to see him.
That's right. Oh, Taco Tuesday is going to be awesome.
Taco Tuesday is going to be amazing.
Yeah. So,
and
guys,
again, huge congratulations to Rambling Canuck and Admiral Doom. Well done, guys.
Great job, guys. And we will be a part of their show coming up soon as Queen Elizabeth I and Mary Queen of Scots. So I'm really nervous, but I'm looking forward to doing it for the guys. It's going to be fun.
It is. It really is.
All right, everybody. Everybody take care. Have a marvelous day. I'm going to play a little outro we've got for you guys, and we will see you tomorrow.
Tomorrow morning, yep. In the chat with Loki.
In the chat with Loki. So, guys, have an awesome day.